Hello and welcome back, adventurers, to another episode of Underdark Cellars. Today we are making Lord Eshteross's maple ginger cookies with turmeric. Let's dive right in and get started. In a stand mixer with the bowl and paddle attachment set, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter that has been softened and is at room temperature. And then we are going to beat that with our brown sugar until it is nice and fluffy. Now I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. While that's mixing, we're going to combine our dry ingredients, so the flour, baking soda, ground cinnamon, ground ginger, ground turmeric, and salt. And we're going to whisk that together until no streaks of spices remain. Lifted it up a bit, wasn't super fluffy. This is what I'm looking for. To that, we're going to add an egg and our maple syrup. I'm using a bourbon-aged maple syrup for some extra zest. It's also what I had. And we're going to beat that together until everything's combined, and then we're going to slowly integrate our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients, making sure not to spray flour everywhere. Once it has come together in a soft ball, we're going to cover this in plastic wrap and let it sit anywhere from like 4 hours to overnight. And then we're going to bake. So we're going to preheat the oven to 350. We're going to take our little balls of dough, about 1.5 tablespoons, and roll them in some turbinado sugar. And then we're going to place those on a baking rack, and we are going to bake them anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes, depending on oven temperature, until the edges are golden brown and the tops are nice and crackly. And look, here they are. They look gorgeous. They are delicious. Let's dive into final thoughts. So for final thoughts, I just have 4 things. First and foremost, I think they just needed more time in the oven. The recipe called for 13 to 14 minutes, and I would have pulled them out had I not seen they were not even remotely close to being done. So I ended up baking mine for closer to 18 to 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, make sure they're, done. But yeah, they just needed more time. I do think that the seasoning was subtle but delicious. It had a lot of warming spices, so it's not necessarily a spicy cookie, but it's spiced, so you can feel that warmth in your mouth and in your throat. I do think, though, that this is a fabulous alternative to gingerbread if you don't like molasses. So you could easily incorporate this into some gingerbread. I haven't tested to see if it would roll out very well, but that might be something to look into. I also think this would pair perfectly with a nice cup of tea, so if you have like a tea party coming up, these would be great to make. And overall, I would definitely make these again. I think the only tweak I would make is to just, in the recipe itself, increase the baking time. So yeah, that's it. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much, adventurers, for sticking around. If you liked what you saw, smash that like button, and please leave comments, questions, suggestions down below. I love to hear from you. I'm happy to answer any questions you have to the best of my ability. I like interacting with you guys, okay? And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you know when new videos go live. And I think that covers it. So adventurers, please take care of yourselves, do something nice for someone else, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.